scientist at the...
6.01 is 30.1. Square root of 912.04 is 30.
The robot says hello.
Make it stop.
Mass Effect is not a normal game I would cover on this channel, as it is not horror. However, you can't deny some of the features in this trilogy are truly horrifying. For example, the mindless zombie-like husks from the haunting, sinister voice of the Reapers, and even the dreaded feeling of loneliness you get on some of the planets in Mass Effect 1. However, in today's video, we're going to cover one of the darkest missions in the whole trilogy. Hello everyone, I'm Jub, and in today's video we're going to be covering the Mass Effect 2 mission, Project Overlord. You'll pretty much be able to do this mission as soon as you start the game. Right after you complete the first mission and first get access to the Normandy, you'll be able to go to your message terminal and you will see you have a message from the elusive man. Shepard, one of our cells just went off the grid without explanation. Project Overlord has been experimenting with highly volatile technology, and I need you to investigate their work. Is extremely compartmentalized enough that I can divulge operation details over this channel. You'll find them on the planet I can't read the planet, you can read it right there. In the Phoenix Massing Cluster. Please use care in this matter. When you first get to the facility, you hear a completely disturbed Dr. Gavin Archer, who is telling you that you need to retract the transition dish immediately.
Thank God you came. My name is Dr. Gavin Archer. The situation is urgent. We're facing a catastrophic VI breakout. I'll explain the details later, but you must retract that transmission dish. The controls aren't far from your position. You have to hurry.
Exploring the facility, Shepard and the crew will find dozens of dead bodies from workers who look like they have definitely been murdered. By what, we still don't know.
Over here, on the monitor. Ah, there you are. I've locked myself in a computer room on the far side of the base. There are Geth on the loose. A rogue VI program has seized control, and I've lost a lot of friends today. I'd hate to see you join them. Please, watch yourself.
We get an update from Dr. Gavin Archer, who mentions that the as-spoken-for VI program has the power to control the Geth, which explains the dead bodies, and now we need to react the satellite to stop it. However, there's a problem. There's always a problem. Here we see our first glimpse of the VI, who stops us from retracting the satellite and has now taken more control.
Damn it. The VI's overridden the controls. We have to stop him. He's trying to upload his program off-planet. Destroy the antenna inside the dish.
We know this VI is more than we expected, because it's trying to upload itself off-planet to possibly cause more mayhem. We see the VI as this weird green collection of codes of eyes. One thing to mention is this camera up here, which is constantly following us around, almost like it's watching us. However, the more important thing is that Shepard needs to destroy the satellite to stop this VI. As Shepard continues travelling through this facility, the VI will keep randomly showing up and screaming distorted sentences at her. Eventually it will send the Geth to attack Shepard, where there will be a massive shootout. One thing to mention is that the Geth are glowing green, insinuating that they are being controlled by the VI. After all of the Geth are taken care of, this really calm piano music starts to play over the intercom, almost like the VR is trying to get into Shepard's head. Anyway, after this they will travel to the satellite where they have to blow it up. And after a long fight with the Geth, they succeed.
You've done it. You've severed the link to the satellite.
Kidding. Move! The whole thing's giving way!
Over here!
What the hell's going on around here?
Man's reach exceeding his grasp. Come on, I'll explain.
And now after an extremely close call, it's time for Shepard to get some answers on what's really happening.
You have my thanks, Commander Shepard. You bought us some time, though probably not much. This isn't over yet.
Who did you say you were?
Dr. Gavin Archer, chief scientist at this facility, and probably the only one left.
You owe us that explanation.
This is Project Overlord, an attempt to gain influence over the Geth by interfacing a human mind with a VI. The results have been less than satisfactory.
I'd hate to see what you call a disaster.
You can't dismiss the entire project. We did succeed, at least partially. My brother, David, volunteered to serve as a test subject, but his mind couldn't handle the VI connection. He's like a virus now, infecting our networks and seizing control of any technology he finds. It's why you had to destroy the dish. Imagine if his program got off-world.
What's the worst-case scenario?
A technological apocalypse. Every machine, every weapon, every computer could be turned against us. If he hit the extranet, who knows where it would end?
How does he take control of electronics?
This is a hybrid intelligence the likes of which I've never seen. I don't know where the man ends and the machine begins.
You should have considered that before you started the experiment.
We couldn't be expected to account for every outcome. Certainly not the abomination David has become. David, the VI has fortified itself in the main laboratory at Atlas Station. It's in lockdown now. To enter, you need to manually override security from our facilities in the Prometheus and Vulcan stations.
How does the lockdown work?
It's a fail-safe procedure in the event of an emergency. Normally, all 3 project leads have to agree to cancel the lockdown. I'm the only one left now. I can give my authorization, but you'll have to manually reset the other 2 yourself.
And what happens if I have to kill your brother?
Let's just hope it doesn't come to that.
What can you tell me about Atlas Station?
Atlas Station is the main laboratory where all of our VI experiments take place. It's your final goal once you've overridden the lockdown. It's also where my brother became something else.
Tell me more about Project Overlord.
We wanted to turn the Geth's religious impulse into a weapon. When we saw them following Saren, we realized they could be swayed. And if a proper figurehead was created, a virus with a face, if you will, the Geth might be controlled.
That's an ambitious undertaking.
It would be the perfect weapon. Victory without casualties. We could avoid war with the Geth altogether. That was the plan, anyway.
What happens on this station?
This is Hermes Station, our communications uplink with the wider galaxy. If you hadn't destroyed the dish in time, the outcome would have been catastrophic.
Tell me about Vulcan and Prometheus stations.
Vulcan Station is our geothermal plant. It generates power for the 4 outposts. Prometheus Station is a crashed Geth ship full of dormant machines. We use them for our experiments.
What went wrong with the experiment?
David volunteered to interface with the VI to give it genuine consciousness. Theoretically, it should have been safe, but With artificial intelligence, there's no such thing as safe.
Then you shouldn't have attempted it.
And what if you'd never attempted to find the Reapers, Commander Shepard? Where would the galaxy be then? Sometimes you have to ignore the risks.
I'm heading out now.
The other stations are all within driving distance. Best of luck.
So that was quite a lot of information, so here's a quick summary just in case you're confused. Dr. Gavin Archer mentions Project Overlord is an attempt to control the Geth by using a human mind as a VI. The human mind he used was his brother's VI, who he claimed volunteered. Something went wrong, making his brother turn into somewhat of a virus. This means the VI that has been controlling the Geth this entire time has been Dr. Gavin's own brother, David. Now we need to cancel this VI by manually going to each of the stations and switching it off. At the first facility, not much of anything worth noting happens, other than when activating this first console, once again David's VI will shout at Shepard. The only other big thing that happens in this part is when you get to the actual place to disable this facility, one of the mechs being controlled by David's VI will be trying to sabotage it.
I hear you, Doctor. We've hit the override at Vulcan Station and are moving on. Shepard out.
It's interesting how the game gives you a renegade option to shoot the mech, almost like it's the bad thing to do. Even if you don't shoot it, one of your squad members will shoot him anyway. God damn it, Garrus.
Did we, break anything?
However, the second facility is where shit starts going crazy. At first entry, we see a massive Geth Prime under the influence of Davis, stuck in stasis for some reason, with a cryptic automated message warning us about what we're going to see in this facility.
You agree to assume all liability for personal injuries or death that may occur during your visit. Thank you.
Hanging around all these dormant machines is creepy. It's like death staring at us from the shadows. I'd rather work at Vulcan Station.
Going down these corridors, we once again hear the haunting scream of David's VI. However, after he shouts at us, the facility starts to rumble. Could this just be because the facility's old, or is David somehow doing this himself? Again, more of these cryptic cameras start watching our every step, and suddenly some of the doors start randomly closing, and cryptic unexplained noises keep coming from out of nowhere. As Shepard continues going down the corridors, there will be 2 dead bodies through a voice recorder.
What does the VI want? It keeps screaming at us. Nobody understands.
Eventually, Shepard will get to the console where she will shut the facility down. However, after this, all of the Geth wake up, and she has to make a quick escape to get out of there. However, once she's escaped, now she's had all of the facilities shut down, so now she can finally shut down David. Upon entering Atlas Station, the final facility, Dr. Archer tells us that David is trying to upload himself from our current location, till he abruptly gets cut off.
Looks like you're in, Commander. Good. I'm getting some troubling readings here, though. The VI is trying to upload its program directly from your location. Get to the server room and shut down the core before it can. Shut to Bari. Martian log 155.2. For years, my brother's condition has been a handicap. That changed today. His autistic mind is the breakthrough I've been looking for. He can communicate with the Geth. Such a tremendous grasp
Now that doesn't sound right. An audio log from Dr. Gavin Archer referencing David having autism. This may not seem like a big thing, but he references the autism making David able to communicate with the Geth, which is sort of like what Project Overlord's mission statement is. Travelling through the facility, Shepard comes across dozens of dead bodies, as well as strange glitches going on with the doors. And of course, don't forget about the creepy cameras, still stalking her every step.
Log 157.8. Unless he sees results, the elusive man is shutting us down next week. I have no choice. I'm going to tap David directly into the Geth neural network and see if he can influence them. The danger should be negligible. David might
Hold
even
on,
enjoy it.
this is still consensual here, right? Because in this, it sounded like the elusive man is rushing Dr. Archer and he's starting to get desperate. Could he have forced his own brother into joining the Geth Nero network when he specifically said that David fully consented? After opening a glitchy elevator being manipulated by David, the crew are attacked by a giant Geth Prime with some goons. After they defeat them, they go into the lift, where the lift starts to go completely insane.
6. Please contact facility support. This elevator is not in service. Please choose another. Smoke detected. Please extinguish all cigarettes.
Well, fuck you too, David.
I'd be lying if I said no harm could come to David. His autistic mind is as alien to me as an actual alien. Anything could happen when we plug him in. But I have to try, don't I?
And now this is where it all starts to come out. In that audio log there it mentions Dr. Gavin Archer saying this may harm David, but he's going through with it anyway.
Get ready. Don't be surprised if this button summons a Reaper.
From what I can tell, David has somehow entered Shepard and is now showing her all of his memories that he had before he turned into the virus. Eventually getting to this room, Shepard will be able to see some of David's more in-depth memories.
906.01 is 30.1. Square root of 912.04 is 30.2.
Time on this project is running out. There are no options left. How to get the Geth's attention.
The robot says hello.
Eureka, David. You're a miracle worker.
Here's the first time we see David communicate with the Geth. It seems harmless, no?
Square root of 906.01 is 30.1. Square root of 912.04 is 30.2.
David, can you repeat my notes from Thursday's experiment?
Square root of 918.09 is 30.3.
David, please pay attention.
Loud. It's getting loud in here.
I'm sorry, you didn't deserve that. Would you mind repeating my notes from Thursday's experiment?
Log 137.3. The experiment yielded no discernible patterns of Geth obedience. End dictation now, David. Well, the elusive man will have my head for this.
Thank you. And how are you feeling today?
Square root of 924.16 is 30.4. Earplugs will be good.
In this memory, we can tell Dr. Gavin is getting more and more frustrated because he knows the elusive man is waiting on him.
David, I want you to order the Geth to take a step forward.
How does he do it?
David is a mathematical savant. His autistic mind can interpret the Geth language at its most basic form and mimic their phonetics. With his photographic memory, cross-referencing the meaning as a snap. He's literally a human computer.
And you think he can interface with the Geth's neural network?
I do.
Is that even safe, Doctor?
I see no harm in finding out.
Square root of 906.01 is 30.1. Square root of 912.04 is 30.2.
We're ready. Open a connection to the Geth network. David, no! Tell the Geth to stand down!
And this confirms our suspicion. Dr. Gavin Archer forced David to join with the Geth Neural Network, fully knowing the excruciating pain and torture it would put him through. And this explains why David has been attacking us. He's not gone rogue, he's scared. And did you ever actually listen to what David has been screaming at us this entire time? This entire time, David has been begging for us to make it stop. And now, we are going to make it stop.
Quiet. Please, make it stop.
Wait! Commander! I'm begging you. Don't do anything rash.
Rash? Like forcing your own brother into an experiment?
I know how this must look, but I never intended any harm to come to him. You must believe me. It's not like I planned this. It was an accident. Seeing David communicate with the Geth, it all seemed harmless.
I saw his memory. He begged you not to do this.
I was desperate. The elusive man doesn't broker failure. Any war we fight with the Geth will be bloody. I was asked to find a way to avoid that.
And how many have already died for this project?
More souls than will ever forgive me. But I won't apologize for radical ideas. If my work spares 1 million mothers mourning the loss of 1 million sons, my conscience will rest easy.
Look at him. Your brother would never be the same.
The damage may not be permanent. He might recover some semblance of his mind.
Cerberus will never leave him alone. Your brother will always be a lab rat.
You're a well cared for lab rat. At least he'd still be alive.
So you'll sacrifice your brother's happiness for your own ambition.
Square root of 906.01 equals
30.1. What I've done to David is unethical. If he dies, it's unforgivable. Let me take care of him. Please.
quiet. Please, make it stop.
I'll let
Now, there is two ways this can end. The first way is leaving David with his brother, condemning him to a life of suffering, or taking him to a safe place. We're going to choose taking him to a safe place because it adds more to the story, and also, come on, do I really need to explain?
I've seen enough of your cruelty to know he'll never be free from it here. I'm taking him away.
No, leave him! He's too valuable!
You even think about coming after your brother and this bullet will be waiting for you. Then we'll see who's valuable.
Where will you take him?
Grissom Academy. They can help special cases like David. Minus the torture. Joker, contact the Academy and let them know we've got someone who needs their help.
Aye, aye, Commander.
The elusive man can fire me if he doesn't like it.
Square root of 912.04 is 30.2. It all seemed harmless. Square root of 912.04 is 30.2. It all seemed harmless. Square root of 912.04 is 30.2. It all seemed harmless.
After the mission is done, there will be another message from the elusive man at your terminal. Shepard, I understand you've taken Dr. Archer's brother to Grissom Academy. I'm familiar with their work. It should be a good home for him. I don't condone Dr. Archer's actions, but they did provide a breakthrough we've been sorely lacking thus far. We'll likely never find another individual with David's unique talent. Though your decision is understandable, it has set our efforts to understanding the Geth back several years. Now you're probably thinking, that's where it all ends. You're probably thinking, the story ends of you taking David's safety, and you never really know what happened to Dr. Gavin Archer. Well, you, my friend, don't know how amazing the Mass Effect trilogy is. Because even though this was only a minor DLC side quest, the story still carries on into Mass Effect 3. In Mass Effect 3 you will get a mission where you have to defend the students at Grissom Academy. Quick side note, Grissom Academy is named after John Grissom from the Mass Effect novel Mass Effect Revelations. Yes, look how cool I am, I can read. Anyway, once getting to Grissom Academy and going through the first parts of the mission, you'll come across David right here.
I don't know who you are, but stay back.
I'm Commander Shepard with the Alliance. I'm here to help.
I didn't buy it from the last guy, and I've got no reason to buy it now.
The square root of 906.01 equals...
30.1.
Hello, Commander Shepard.
David, you know her?
Yes. She rescued me from Cerberus. Sent me here. She made it quiet.
You did a great job keeping yourself safe. The biotic students are up there. Stay close. They'll get you out of here.
Okay. Thanks.
He looks much healthier.
I remember you. The Normandy computer. Sorry.
No apology is necessary. Has Grissom Academy been all right?
Yes. I've been counting.
Anything in particular?
The number of days you lengthened my life. The security office. I hacked the lock. Guns. Lots of guns. Goodbye.
Well, isn't that nice? David is alive and seems to be thriving now that he's not being experimented on, and he is extremely grateful for everything that Shepard has done for him. However, what about the other sibling? We find Dr. Gavin Archer later in the game amongst a group of Cerberus scientists who are revolting against the organization.
Commander Shepard, Dr. Gavin Archer, we met on Project Overlord.
That's one way of putting it.
Yes, well, after you took my brother to Grissom Academy, I tried putting all that behind me. I don't suppose you have any news from there. I've heard rumors the Academy is in trouble.
Now, this is the important part, and will depend what ending you will get for this quest. You can either A. Tell him David is safe, or B. Let him worry. Now, the first time I did this, I did not trust Dr. Gavin Archer one bit after I saw what he'd done. Even though he sounded empathetic, I did not trust him. So first I will show you what happens if you let him worry.
I don't know anything about that. I'm sorry.
Oh God. If anything happens to him,
It's a little late to start caring about him now, don't you think?
David was all I had left. I hoped we might be reunited one day, that I could beg his forgiveness. It will never happen now. A precaution, if I was ever captured by the enemy, or couldn't wake from my nightmare. We both know this is the ending I deserve. God be with you, Commander. He was never with me.
In this ending, Dr. Gavin Archer won't be able to live with the guilt, and he will end his own life. Now to show the David is safe option.
I was at Grissom Academy. Cerberus tried abducting the students, but David's okay.
Oh, thank God. Commander, you have no idea what that means.
It's a little late to start worrying about his safety now.
I never stopped. I know you think I'm a monster, and you're right. Not a day goes by where my dreams aren't haunted by what I did to David. All I can do now is hope that one day he forgives me.
What happened to Project Overlord?
After your intervention, the elusive man insisted I find another test subject. Someone who shared my brother David's abilities. I couldn't bear the thought of reliving the nightmare, so I destroyed all of my research. Overlord is no more.
What are you doing here?
I strayed too far from the path. This was my only refuge. As a boy, I wanted to be a scientist remembered for doing right by the world, curing a disease or discovering a new element. Not a monster who tortured his own brother.
What did you say to the elusive man?
I told him if his intention was to work with the devil, he only had to look in the mirror. I wanted out of his nightmare.
He just let you go?
If it had been that easy, I wouldn't be hiding here. Every Cerberus soldier in the galaxy has orders to shoot me on sight.
And that is Project Overlord. The only other reference to this is a throwaway line Joker says in the Citadel Party DLC. But like I said, that is Project Overlord, the darkest mission in all of Mass Effect, with an extremely interesting choice at the end. Can we forgive Dr. Gavin Archer for the hell he put David through? Does he deserve to die thinking David is dead, or does he deserve salvation? I don't know, that's not my choice to make. However, you can decide that in the comment section down below. I thank all of you a shit ton if you made it this far. Sorry for the weird upload schedule. 1 minute I'm like, hell yeah, I'm gonna make like 100 videos. Next minute I'm like, I wanna fucking kill myself and play video games and eat Ben & Jerry's all day and night. But I made this, so I'm still here. I'm also working on my next RE8 video, and I have loads of ideas for other videos I wanna make. I'm thinking of going into like other games, like back to Red Dead and like GTA and even like Batman Arkham that I've been replaying with some creepy shit. Even though they're old games and a lot of the stuff's been done already, I think I can do it in my own style and make it a bit more interesting. Anything else I need to say? Oh yeah, I always forget to mention this. I do have an Instagram. I'll try and link it down below, but I might forget. On my Instagram, I don't really post anything that interesting. I mainly just post about updates on my videos. So, give that a little follow if you want. However, that's me done for now. I'll see you guys whenever I see you guys. What a shit fucking intro.